All right, beautiful day, lovely friends. It's me again, Williams. And today I'm just thinking, I woke up this morning and I had this thought in my mind. And I thought, let's just share, let's just even talk about it. What are some of the things that differentiate the rich from the poor? And I've been thinking, I know we have different definitions of what the rich is and different definitions for what the poor are. But however, what are common striking differences? Now, I'm not going to spend time on definitions. I'm not going to spend time on going to defining terms. But I just want us to talk about one of their lifestyles. Today, I'll pick one. If time permits, I pick another. And one of the lifestyle that differentiates the rich from the poor is time. May I surprise you? Time is the only thing we have equally, both the rich, both the poor, both the young, both the old. Yeah, longevity of time may differ. In other words, some die early, some die mid-age, some die later in life. Some live longer, even beyond the well old age that we all usually say. But we all have time in the same measures. In the same measure. So how much of it we enjoy, that is another case for another day. Another day. For now, let me focus on what I want to point out as regarding time. We all have 60 seconds that make 1 minute. We all have 60 minutes that make 1 hour. And we all have 24 hours that make 1 day. We then have 7 of these days that make up a week. 30, 35, 30, 31 thereabout makes up a month. And then we also have 12 months that make up a year. Now, these 12 months that make up a year, each and every one of us have the same portion. Each one of us have the same measurement. Each one of us have the same quantity allotted to each and every one of us per day. Interestingly, I am always amazed. How come others are achieving so much and others are achieving so little? I also realize that it is not about the matter of work, because the people who will tell you they work the hardest, the people who you will see to work the hardest, actually don't amount to much. Now, I'm not discrediting the place of hard labor. No, I'm not discrediting the place of dignity in labor. No, but I'm talking about time. So stay with me. We're talking about time today. And I'm saying some people within 24 hours have the capacity to achieve so much, and others within that same 24 hours have no ability or no strength or no means of achieving even a pinch of what others have achieved. The difference is how do they place priority on their timing. So I'll give you one example to hold on to. In low life area, in the slums, as you may call it, in the ghetto, as you may call it, in the places where people of low income live, you will realize that there are lifestyles that these guys do that keep them perpetually there, that repeat the same circle that they've seen all through their life, and then they get to old age. Some of them live longer, even than some of the rich. But the impact of their stay upon the earth is not reckoned with. Why? Because they were not amounting to much, even though they live long. Now, for some others who are on the other side, there are things they do that you will see that is contrary to what these others do, that also give them that leverage. And one of it is how they use their time per day, per time. When I was growing up, I had the privilege of visiting both ends. I still have friends from both cadres. I see have people all across the spectrum. And one of the things I've noticed is that it is in the low life area, in the low income earning areas, that you will hear people say things like, we are whiling away time. Have you ever heard that? Know that that mindset is the mindset of a poor man. I'm not saying poor because he doesn't have now. I'm saying poor because he's not willing to have even later in life. When you just sit down to while away time, let's take a stroll. Where are we going? Nowhere. They just keep walking. And not because they are exercising their leg. But for the rich, they have specific things and specific targets attached to their time. So their time is always counting. Their time is always working. Their time is always accruing or amounting to something important. In the low income earners quarter, you see people gather together under a tree like you see me standing, and then they are playing draft, and then they are playing. Some of them even play gambu. They play other games. They play ludo. They play all forms of games, sitting down there, some without shirt, some tying wrapper. I'm talking about men. And they stay there all day. And sometimes some stay there, they now go from there to go home and bath. And if they have any appointment, they remember, they go to that appointment and come back and join others who have been there all morning. Example again, you will see a typical example that you see everywhere. In case you say, I've not been to those kind of areas, then let me show you something you see every day and you can see even as you go out today. One of the things you will see is when you get to a newspaper stand, you will see a community of people where they sell newspaper. These guys stand there analyzing every item on the political newspaper, analyzing every item in the newspaper. They are not able to buy one newspaper. But they stay there all day. Some of them, you see them carrying dress with tie, carrying file, as though they are going to work or going to seek employment. Yet they stay there from 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning till 12, till 1, 2 o'clock. They are still there. In fact, till 4 p.m., you will go to those stands and see people. People who are wealthy don't spend their time analyzing what's in the news. They look at it. They look at what happens in the news. They look at what concerns them in the news and how can they benefit. They ask themselves, what are we going to do with this new policy? What are we going to do? Or how is it going to affect me? How is it going to affect my business? What can I do to scale up or take advantage of this move? But these guys will argue what Buhari did, will argue what Idi Agbon did not do. They will argue what Yaradua didn't do. They will argue what Tinubu is not doing right. Argue, insult themselves, and they are still standing there. Still cannot buy. As a matter of fact, what shocked me is when a wealthy person drives past and orders a newspaper, he just say, give me punch. They will be the one to pass it because this vendor of the newspaper is on the other side. They will be the one to pass the newspaper to the customer and collect money back to the vendor, and they are still standing there. The person who will read and make profit of that news in the newspaper has just bought, within 5 minutes, he has finished his business in that place, from the time he drove to parking, to ordering, to receiving and paying, and then moving on. It didn't take him more than 5 minutes. But these guys stayed here for hours, yet they are wondering what happened. At the end of the day, when they have grown old, in their 60s, 70s, and thereabout, they are wondering what happened. And the thing that breaks my heart the most is that some of them don't know better and they are not seeking knowledge. And they will not be able to teach their children. This was how I mismanaged what I had. Time is the common resource we all have. And if we don't use that time wisely, if we don't invest that time in the areas that matter to us, if we don't invest that time in the areas of our giftedness or in the areas of our calling or purpose in life, in the long run, may we not be like those ones who will not be able to tell their children, I don't know the way to richness and I don't know how to teach you. May we be one of those that will leave legacies, not because we want to leave material legacy, but because we are able to transform the minds of those whom nature and God has given to us to bear, to father, to parents, and also those whom life has given to us to mentor around us. We will have content to give them. We will have wisdom to give them. Wisdom that is beyond what we have built. Because they can take that inheritance and waste it. But if they got wisdom from you, even if they did not take that inheritance, they are able to recreate from the scratch whatever it is you have built and go beyond it. Because now they are standing on the shoulders of your wisdom. So they are likely and they are sure to grow taller than you have ever lived. And it is my desire to encourage you this morning that as you go out today, be intentional about your use of time. Because that's what will make the difference at the end of your life. Whether people will have you to remember or not, whether people will be blessed because you came to the face of the earth or not, whether people will be able to say of a truth, this man walked the face of the earth within this time and the other time. So think about it and stay blessed. Until I come your way again with another piece of information, another comparison between the rich and the poor. Let's just take this series for a while and then we'll continue. After that, we'll take another topic. Stay blessed. I remain yours, William Stiloho. Follow my channel. God bless you.